Alright, today's video is going to be focusing on how to switch out this fan motor in an AMANA PTAC, or package terminal air conditioner. As you can hear right now, the only thing on is the fan, and you can hear it's very loud. We've been getting a lot of complaints. So the first thing, I'm going to pull this screw off. And this is a 2009 model, but it's a few different years in that same era. This is going to be for models that use one fan motor for the inside and the outside fan. A different version of PTACs. I'll go through and make another video for the other kind, because we have a couple of those here also. But this is for this version with this kind of fan motor. Okay, so the next thing I want to do, I'm going to take some towels. I'm going to spread them down, because when I pull this out, I'm pretty sure there's going to be water in the back from the condensation. Okay, so what I want to do next, I'm going to pull this large flathead and this large flathead out. And you want to just give this a little bend in and pull this out. Alright, our next focus are going to be this flathead and this one. Alright, now that we got those pulled, you can see our heater's ready to come out, but we got to get the wiring out. And I said make sure your power's unplugged, you guys, before you go putting your fingers in here like this. So you'll take a look at this control board. Alright, this yellow thermistor. This is your indoor discharge thermistor. You can see it reads the temperature from here to let this control board know the temperature coming out, and make sure the air conditioner is getting cold as it should or hot as it should. Alright, so we're going to unplug that. But you're going to unplug heater 1 and heater 2. Now, the only other one is the red thermistor. It goes to the coils in here. It reads the coil temperature. But we shouldn't have to remove that to get the heater out. Let's go ahead and pull this heater out. Alright, this is the heater. And you can buy this separate if it goes bad. Usually when these fail, one of these wires right here will burn, and it'll fail, and the whole thing will just stop working. And you can sometimes fix these wires, or you can buy a whole replacement heater. Alright, as you can see, once you get it going, you just want to loosen it on up. One hand on each side of the fan and pull evenly straight out, not really hard. A nice little tug and it should pull on out for you. Back. Alright, we're going to have a screw here, and then on the plastic here, we're going to have a screw here and a screw here. I'm going to pick this up. And if we go here to the back, you can see we got the same kind of screw. We're going to take our long screwdriver, come down here, loosen this up. Alright, I got my ratchet with my 10mm socket. You see it said red, white, black, brown. So here's our red, here's our black, here's our white and brown. There's our brown by itself, and here's our white. Alright, next step, what we're gonna do, I'm out here, brought it outside. You can see the rust all on here. You can see the rust on here. So what I did, I just took my scraper and knocked off all this loose paint. We're gonna take this Rust-Oleum charcoal gray and we're gonna give it a spray. Believe it or not, this charcoal gray looks almost like a perfect match. Like the color blends perfectly together. Alright, here we got our brand new replacement motor. 0131P00000. Alright, and just to prove to you, before I even put this new one in, I just want to let you hear the difference in the bearings. Alright, you can hear how loud that is, and you can tell that's the sound we were hearing earlier. It's just a lot louder when it's running. Alright, here's the new one. You can barely hear it. So far I haven't been able to find these exact bearings to replace only the bearings in this motor. And I'm pretty sure if I can find them, it'll be a lot cheaper. What we've been doing is it's cheaper to order a $100 motor than it is to spend $700 or $800 replacing the whole unit. And we can't really leave it with the loud motor because we get a lot of complaints. Remember, you're only screwing into a thin piece of sheet metal here. So all you want to do is snug it. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is just feed this back. And see, it just slides right in there, pops in. I'm going to push these wires back through our little hole where this plumber's putty's at. Once we get that in there pretty good, then we're going to take our plumber's putty. We're going to try to close this hole back up around it so no air or little bugs can get through. Just remember, the brown goes by itself, the white goes in, and then the red is low and the black is high. Alright, so for our fan wires, you remember this brown goes here by itself to the back of the capacitor. Alright, and this white is going to go here with all of these on this black. We're going to go high. And red, we're going to go low. I threw and did just a light cleaning on both of the fans to knock all of the loose dust and dirt and stuff off. We're going to get ready to put this back together. Alright, so we've got the back fan placed in there. So now we're just going to go in and pop the front one back on. And on the fans, on both of them, you see there's just a flat spot that it slides onto, and a flat spot that mates up on the fan motor. Alright, this with the two screws on the back. This takes a little wiggling. Alright. This right here is the blue thermistor. This is for the outdoor coil temperature. Alright, the red one is in here, you can see. You can't really see too good, but the red one, it comes in here and it mounts to these coils, and how you access it is this front panel here. The yellow thermistor is the indoor discharge temperature. It lets you know the temperature of the air coming out from here. The black thermistor here on the front, ambient air temperature. So this is the indoor air temperature that's coming into the unit. Right, and that lets you know pretty much what all of the thermistors do. And another real common problem is I'll see F1, and a lot of time when they're cleaning, they accidentally unplug this black thermistor from the front. And so you just want to come plug it right back in here. So if this line gets cut, or if this thermistor goes bad, but 90% of the time it's just got unplugged while they were cleaning it. And it'll throw a code F1. Right, now here it go. You can see I got the heater all cleaned up and looking nice. The paint should be pretty much dry about now. You can see a little imperfections, but it's not really as noticeable as the peeling paint and the rusty spots. Okay, so now what you want to do, you're going to plug the yellow thermistor back in, and it says yellow here, so you don't really have to remember that too much. You can just read it. And then on the heater wires, I like to put the short wire first to the heater 1. The longer wire I'll put to the heater 2. I want to mention, when you're putting these screws in here, you want to make sure these wires are tucked really good, because one time in the past I did accidentally hit a wire here, and when I plugged it in, it shorted the wire. Luckily it didn't short out the board. This thermistor on the front, you want to make sure there's a good gap between the coils and the thermistor. And that's just something to look out for too. If you have a unit that everything seems to be working okay, but it runs, then it shuts off, runs and shuts off, I would check and make sure that this thermistor in the front has enough space between the coils, and it's in a location where it can get the accurate temperature readings of the room. You can see pretty much right now I've got everything back together. You can see that's what that looks like. Since it's been spray painted, I think that looks pretty decent. Now I'm gonna plug it in and we're gonna see what it sounds like. All right, this is the moment of truth. All right, let's see what she does. Give it a second. All right, you can hear our fan is pretty quiet. All you hear is the air moving now. You don't really hear the bearings anymore. All right, and our compressor just kicked on. So it seems like it's working fine. So you hold these two, and then you're gonna hit this heat twice. All right, and now it's gonna go through and it's gonna run a test, and it's gonna check every component. All right, you can hear it started that compressor back up, which is probably not good to do right now since we just started it up. Should have did this first to show you guys. All right, but it's gonna run for a second. All right. Now it's going to kick over to the heat. All right. All right. And then we're back to the air conditioner. You can see everything worked like it was supposed to. And there you have it. There's a 12-year-old air conditioner that's good as new. And if it's at a business like this, I would just go through and replace the parts as they break, you know, because you want to get as much profit as you can before you have to invest back into something. But at your house, if you had a unit like this that was about 10 years old, this one's actually about 12 years old now, going on 13 almost. If this was at your house or you only had one or two of these, I would go through and I would replace the capacitor. I would go through and replace all 4 thermistors. I would go through and take it apart like I showed you. If the fan motors are kind of loud, I would go ahead and replace that fan motor. If it's quiet, I would just leave it, but I would, you know, you want to take these out at least once a year. You want to get some good coil cleaner. It's about $5 a bottle at any hardware store. They should have it. You want to spray it, get it outside, take it, spray it with the coil cleaner, let it push all of the grime out, let it sit about 5 minutes, take a nice water hose, gently spray it. If the fins are bent, they sell a fin tool you can go through, and you probably have to go to like an air conditioner specialty store. Somebody who sells large air conditioner units or something, or order it online, but they'll have a tool you can straighten out all of the fins, and we like to go through once a year and give them all a good cleaning and straighten all the fins to keep them in top shape. I said if this was you at your house and you were pulling this apart to replace that fan motor, I would go through and go ahead and order the thermistors. They're only $3 or $4 a piece, I think. I would order the capacitor, go ahead and replace it. That's the first thing to go on a lot of them, and then your unit will be pretty good to go for a long time. And if your unit's not doing anything at all and you keep hitting the button and it doesn't reset, then a lot of times that cord's bad. So the cord goes bad quite a bit on these two, more than I would expect them to. But besides that, these units are pretty good. They don't break down a whole lot. 90% of the time when they do break down, it's something that I can fix myself, and this is really the longest process, is the replacing the fan motor, because you're tearing the whole unit down and putting it back together.